So my uncle, he works in this movie industry.
Right.
His job is to figure out location sites to be filmed on.
It's a hell of a job.
It is. He's done work with like Nick Jonas and like he's in the credits of some of these movies.
What's his name?
His name's Josh Killinghouse.
What is it? Killinghouse?
Yes.
How do you spell that?
Kellinghaus.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, it's a pretty long last name.
But
girthy last name.
that's a fucking big base job.
Yeah, I think one of the movies is called The Goat. But he filmed it with like Nick Jonas, and he actually even has like a scene in it. He's like in the first scene of the movie. You
Right.
see him in like the background. But he messaged me, and he said, "Hey, I need your help designing this poster."
What?
Yeah, and so this poster was gonna feature a collaboration between Cincinnati of Film with Woman's in Film, and it was a happy hour event. So they wanted me to take their logos and involve a happy hour event kind of poster.
For real?
And this wasn't like a contest more, it was sort of like a job. There was a bunch of people who entered their posters, and they said they were obsessed with mine, and mine got
Oh,
picked
shit.
like within the first 5 minutes. And so I asked them, I was like, send me the previous years and stuff, so I knew what the standards were.
Right.
And I'd say I blew it out of the park, right?
Oh shit.
Let me see if I can find it. I'd like to show you.
It's done?
Just so you can see. Oh, I already got the $100 from it and
What?
everything. This was like a month ago, yeah.
Bro.
It's yeah, so it's
You're
like
you got like jobs, you got like missions you've done completed and shit, bro.
yeah, and I think I don't have it on my thing. I think I had to delete it.
What the fuck?
Anyways, yeah, they paid me on. They even sent me like an email, and I had to sign it and everything.
That's fucking like an invoice, like that's
Like
fucking crazy,
I'm
bro.
here, dude. Yeah.
It's a cool feeling, man. Like you.
I
You
didn't
know what
even
I mean?
draw anything though.
Really?
I went on a website and I photoshopped it and stuff. So like, it's not like I just didn't do
editing,
that work.
like
Yeah.
editing, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the 10,000 hour thing too. Just knowing how to do that type of shit. Which is what's crazy is that's what really separates things is talent and the 10,000 hours, right? The time and the talent is two different things because you can have the talent, but if you didn't put the time in, then what's the talent worth, right? Like if you don't know how to upload shit or learn how to do what you got to, the technical shit,
Yeah.
then like what's the point in knowing it?
That's really where you become unique. It's like, yeah, you might be gifted in drawing, but what's the other things you're gifted at? And how can you apply that to drawing? Like my Photoshop skills or video editing skills. If I could find a way to implement that into my drawing and art, then I'm ahead of most other artists who lack that skill, that 10,000 hours
Right.
in the photos, in them different apps, in the musics and shit like that. Like with you and your keyboard, like there's some artists that don't know that don't do that.
Right.
Or the podcast, there's artists that don't do that,
Well,
that
these
lack
are,
that skill.
I hear you, bro. And I think like a lot of the shit for me, a lot of the hats that we had to wear was out of necessity, though. You know what I'm saying? It's just because we didn't have somebody to do it. Like I wasn't ever gonna make my own artworks until I was like, what am I gonna just not make artworks? Like that's it, and that's another chance to be creative, right? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need a break from the music, and you just take a little minute with the artwork and try to be creative with the artwork and say,
Little
fuck it.
detour, switch
You know what
up
I mean?
genres,
Right.
you know?
It makes the music getting back to it kind of refreshing.
Oh, definitely. I'll sit there and like, for my cartoons and shit, my comics, try to write songs and melodies just to switch it up. You know, it's like you're tricking your brain. Like it's like you're still being creative and working, but now you're having fun. Now you're kind of learning and you get that rush again.
Yeah, that's what starts it, man. Is like that feeling you get is like it's rewarding. But I remember seeing you draw shit when we were kids, bro. Like it was always amazing to me when So let me ask you this, bro. When you look back on that type of shit, compared to shit you draw now, is it worse back then? Like, because I don't remember it being not accurate. You know what I'm saying? Like when we were in fucking third grade and you were drawing like fucking Crash Bandicoot and shit.
Yeah, it was always. It never. I think I never explored it. I always stuck with a pencil. I never dabbled in watercolor or painting, or I still haven't. Like I always kind of stayed at the same place. And actually, I think there was a while when I had my kids that I stopped for about a year or two. And then when I got back in, I noticed, dude, the shit that I drew when I was in high school was better.
Right.
I was finding notebooks from high school where I was like, damn, where's this guy at? And it kind of made me salty. And it really, you get discouraged when your past self is better than you now, you know? Like, really took a left turn there. So that just kind of kicked my ass into gear because I knew, okay, at a time I was at this level.
Right.
It didn't take long to get back to that level.
Right. You gotta
There's cobwebs in there. You gotta dust it up, clean up a little
bit, man.
Get that muscle memory back. I don't think it ever goes away because it was definitely about a week or two into it. I was like, all right, now I'm drawing better. Better.
But that's also where time and talent differ too, because you can lose it even if you do got the talent. If you just stop, you can lose it.
Yeah.
What makes you good is also your consistency. You don't realize that.
Like, you start getting shaky.
You don't realize that until you quit though, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like your ego is just telling you that like you can just do this shit in your sleep, but at the same time, if you fucking quit doing it, your pen's gonna dry up.
Yeah, you remember when Mike Tyson, he came back and did that. He didn't just come back and do it. He like went through months of training, and then went back and did it.
Yeah, you gotta definitely wash the dirt off before you start that bitch up. Like, I don't know, man. I noticed that me and you, even in the beginning, were having these conversations of like how to change shit. You know what I mean? We was always trying to figure out how to take what we felt like we could do and not only make money off of it, but put it out and see, like, you know what I'm saying, how it fares against the masses.
No.
Because like we said, bro, not everybody's going to like everything you do, even if it is, you feel like it's the dopest shit you did.
Right.
Somebody could be like, it's trash, but that's where you got to try to train yourself to be validated by the fact that you worked hard. Like I heard Nipsey say, be validated by your process. You know what I'm saying? Like when he got nominated for a Grammy, he said that like it's cool. You know what I mean? That's dope. That's awesome. But at the same time, I ain't gonna let it take me off of the real purpose. You know what I mean?
Right.
What you're actually striving for is not a Grammy. Like that's cool.
That's all. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, we're looking past that. You know what I mean? But even with the art, bro, like, that's what sucks about it, man. It's just like there's no real platform for art. There's not like an artist platform.
No, there's not.
You know what I mean? There's not like a showcase your art. I think there kind of is like some kind of. I've heard of websites like you can have a gallery in your Instagram profile and people can go just look at your. But I like what you're doing, like, cause it's like it's one thing to have a picture painted, right, and just have a picture painted. That's cool, but it's almost not enough anymore. People want to see how you got that picture painted.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I like you do a lot of behind the scenes shit.
All the time lapse drawings.
Yeah. So it's like it's not just look at what I drew.
Yeah, I
You know
try
what
to
I'm
make it entertaining. I think that's a lot of fucking artists lack that. There's so many other artists I see that they just show their art and they don't get nowhere with it. Like, you gotta be better than that. You gotta be entertaining. You gotta have a good song. You gotta have zooms and cuts and.
It's like that at first though, right? You kind of gotta realize that and then realize, oh, I gotta take a new approach.
Yeah.
Like Russ said, he dropped fucking 11 projects, bro. And like, a few years before he ever got on. He had 11 projects out.
Right.
And he was like, this is not working. I'm going to start dropping a song every week.
Right.
And he started doing that, and his shit went nuts.
Yeah.
So it ain't always just like the way, it's just sometimes might be the way it's be presented. Like how you said you repost some TikToks, like sometimes I need to try to take a page from that book, bro, because I don't realize that. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to repost it because I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I already posted it out. I'm almost too critical of it. Like, you know what I mean? The guy would have deserved or something.
Right.
But maybe I should repost some shit.
It's never the case. Like how I just posted a video 2 hours ago. They got 40
nuts.
likes and then
1,500
views in 2
like,
hours.
that's nuts, bro.
And I didn't expect that. That's a video that I didn't even plan. I just saw the green screen on TikTok because I follow this green screen page that posts videos and shit. That's how I did that like Walter White thing, that Breaking Bad thing.
Yeah.
So they just post videos. I take that video and then into CapCut. There's a setting called chroma key. You just pick a color and then you pull the bar up and it'll take that out. So you click the color green, slide the intensity key up, and then just takes that green screen right out. And then I overlay that over top the video, and it probably took me 2 minutes. And it was just for shits and giggles. It wasn't anything like, I wasn't preparing for this video, like just on the toilet scrolling through TikTok and then an idea pops up.
Yeah.
I think that's a very big key, is like you gotta kind of, if you have an idea, get it out there as quick as possible, because you do tend to doubt yourself if you
Definitely.
start working on it too long and then you have that inner voice and you fight with yourself about, is this worth it? Is it good? And then you lost what originally drew you to that video idea in the first place.
Yeah. And
so if you can capture that.
I feel like too, bro, like, do you think a song could like be misconstrued and blow up? Like, a song can be misconstrued and blow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can be completely misinterpreted. Like, you intended to be this way.
Right.
And it's like somebody experienced it some kind of way and they was like, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of got big for a reason that you might not have even intended to.
Right.
But at the same time, everybody has their own perspective on things. Like, you can see, like, I always wonder about taste buds, bro. Like, if I tasted fucking a cherry and I like cherries, and you tasted a cherry and you don't like cherries, do we taste the same thing? Like, what's the difference between, you know what I'm saying? Like, why am I, you know what I mean? Taste buds or that's what it is. It's taste buds. Like,
are we
weird.
really tasting the same thing? Or even with colors, like,
Colors,
do we see the same thing? Or
colors, man. Like, somebody told you this was black in the beginning of your life, but somebody told me I could be looking at what you think is green.
yeah.
When I'm looking at this, somebody told me the first time I seen it that was black.
Yeah.
But none of us really ever know. And
No.
that's what's big about intention and interpretation. That's why I try to not. Even with putting content out, it's like you can mean something one way and it can be completely taken the opposite way. So it's like I try to keep myself accountable and not say nothing crazy, but at the same time, you got to purely express yourself.
Mm-hmm. I think the right people will follow. And I think if you start getting haters, and I think you're on the right path.
That's cliche, but I know, like, it definitely seems like when you do some shit, people, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. It just does seem like people were very off-put by you going outside of the bubble. Like, you know what I mean?
Outside the 9-to-5 job, or like
outside the norm. It's like if you do anything outside of that, you're an outsider.
Yeah, I've had a couple people, like, I mentioned my idea, my comic, and my vision, and they just say, like, oh, don't hold your breath, or and you can just tell, like, they laugh, they don't believe it. And
Even
it's
slide
just
eyes.
so, yeah, and it's just like, I want to sit here and talk out my ass. Like,
Right.
and if I genuinely believe in myself, and I'm telling people, then I think That's enough fucking evidence.
Sometimes you gotta hear that though. Like sometimes you gotta put yourself out there and somebody laugh at you for you to be like.
Then it's like you're doing it. Now you're trying to prove to them. You know?
Yeah. At the same time though too, it's like a lot of the reason why you don't put shit out is because you're worried about what people think. It's almost like getting a fucking shot. Mm-hmm. Getting a shot in your arm where it's like it sounds a lot worse than it is when you actually get the needle and you're like, well, that wasn't so bad. You know what I mean?
Like it's over now.
It's over now.
And then after that, I think you kind of get invincible.
Yeah, you develop a little callous to it. It's like it is what it is. Everybody has their own opinion. Like fuck it.
And then I think in the future we'll try to chase that. we'll chase that feeling of, I wish I had that like roller coaster,
right?
That fear that,
right?
That it's a high, it's a rush. Your heart's racing. Eventually, it'll go away, and then you'll miss that. Then you'll start doing like crazy shit just to try to get a rise out of yourself. And I'm still on that where I do every single post. I'm like, a little on the fence about this, like.
That's why I think it's cool to have somebody who can be with you. You know what I'm saying? And be like, also give you a second opinion. Like, you don't want to rely on nobody's opinion, but at the same time, it don't hurt to hear somebody tell you that's dope.
Right.
You're like, shit, alright, well, at least I ain't the only person that feels that way.
And I think a lot of people aren't vulnerable. And I think vulnerability is something that's just becoming really big in our like generation in society. Is like, that's something to like, you get a reward for being vulnerable now. Like,
that almost goes against your survival instincts, being vulnerable on camera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It almost goes against everything you know to be true. It's like you want, especially around here, you develop trust issues with, you don't want to tell people personal information because they use it against you. So it's like,
right.
On camera, I definitely don't want to. But at the same time, like,
I don't know.
We just do regular shit, bro. We make creative shit happen. So I don't think it ain't nothing like, in gossip it kind of gets a little weird, but like when you're trying to teach somebody something, I feel like it's a whole different pure conversation for them when you're in this kind of egotistic pissing contest with somebody. Like, who gives a fuck, bro? Like, you know what I mean? We can sit here and like learn some shit from each other. You know what I mean? Me and you bounce a lot of shit off each other. Like, a lot of times I do, like, your opinion, you'll be like, yeah, that's dope. And I'm like, yeah, fuck, I guess it. I mean, you know, maybe I can post that then if I ain't ripping things it's dope too, so fuck it.
Well, just hopefully it's just a domino effect, man. I mean, people see us doing it.
That's true.
I'm sure there's hundreds of people who have their own vision, who have their own $1 million idea or their own talent that they never believed in themselves, and then one day they get a hair up their ass and start posting.
That's what it was for me, man. I always wanted to make music, but one day I just got a hair up my ass and said, I'm tired of talking about it. Like, what the fuck?
I know too many people who have so many talents that don't post.
What do you think that is, bro? Do you think like something tapped into you? You were supposed to be the first to do it to show people. You know what I mean? Like,
right? Or
do you just think like some people? I don't know what it is. I like to wonder things like that.
I mean, I have plenty of chats with my brother because he's always making songs, always making music, and I tell him like, you should be posting it.
I thought he quit or something because he hasn't posted shit. So I thought he stopped doing it.
I hear him every day.
Shout
singing,
him out, bro. Does he got
new
any
songs?
What's his fucking Instagram?
His name's Gabe Ashcraft.
Gabe. His name on Instagram is like Gabe
Gabe
Real.
Real.
Gabe Real. Yeah.
Yeah, Gabe Real.
Ashcraft.
Yeah, I wish I knew his like other social media names, but
I remember thinking like, he definitely has got dope shit, bro. Like,
I don't know if it's that he's discouraged or.
See, that's what I think. Me and him, like, we should be getting together, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, leaning, like, be each other's shoulder to lean on in certain moments like that when I'm discouraged of being discouraged. Like, bro, I don't know. I kind of was like, I think here he is right there. But I kind of was like on some like looking up to him shit because of just the way he was putting himself out there at first. Because I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like stepping out on a ledge.
Yeah,
like, I'm
making
doing this shit.
mixtapes
Yeah.
and promoting and making videos and stuff. He put ads on his TikTok. You go to his TikTok and I think it's the same thing. Gabe Real and then it's Ashcraft. But one of his videos had like 1,000 views. And it was probably his third video posted.
That's what's nuts, man. It's just like, you really don't know what could happen if you post the shit, man. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, and his songs, he has such a unique kind of style that I think he's already differentiating. I don't know that word.
Differentiating?
Yeah, he's already separated himself
Right.
out. And
That's the hardest part, bro, is jumping over that. What is someone thinking about? What is someone going to think about this?
right,
That's the biggest mountain for me. Maybe it's not for everybody else, but for me, that's a huge mountain to climb. Is like, what is everyone else going to think?
and something like that, what he does is he's singing. He's, you know,
Right.
he makes the beat, guitar,
That's
like,
super vulnerable, bro.
singing, yeah, like, you gotta have balls and
You gotta
steel
be
to do
very,
that.
very
Be
balls and
comfortable
steel
in
to
your
do that.
skin.
Right. Or be at least willing to be uncomfortable for a moment. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what it is, bro. Putting yourself out there is like the willingness to be judged. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna take this pure creation that I came up with in my room, and I'm gonna throw it out to the wolves for them to fucking chew on and pick apart and do whatever they want to.
Yeah.
Which is a huge fucking vulnerable thing to do, bro. Like, I don't know, I respect that more than a lot of other decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a bold decision, bro.
Yeah.
Putting yourself out there, because you still gotta show up to the park and shit like that, right?
You
know
gotta
what I
own
mean?
it.
You gotta own that shit. Like, once you put it out, that's a huge thing with learning on the job. It all kind of works hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of gotta just make a radical decision. I always compare it to buying my laptop, because that was the biggest. That was $1,000. You know what I mean? I ain't never done that
My
on some
iPad.
shit. Yeah, like,
it was $800. That was a big investment.
that's a fucking
my tax return money. Like, I was like,
Bro, you could have wrote that off on your taxes.
could have.
I don't know if you could. I mean, I think you might have to have a business. You might have to actually have a business.
write
do
off.
that. Yeah. But
it was definitely an investment in yourself, without knowing
without knowing.
that it. Yeah.
Without knowing. That's how I
big
feel.
chunk of money.
Because I didn't realize it. You know what I mean? When you look back on it, you're like, that was a bold decision.
Wish I did it sooner.
I didn't have any reason to make that decision, and I still did it.
Right. The only decision I had was like, I could make better art. I didn't have a plan of like, oh, I'm gonna make comics and I'm gonna make this character and shit. I always just had like, I love drawing and I wanna invest in my skill. And then I let that, you know, I'll figure it out on the way. And I
gotta
trust
learn
the
on the
process. And now, as you can see, my TikTok kind of, it went from every video was different to now it's all about Doozy now. It's all about this duck. And
Yeah. It's the main. That's the
main thing.
It's the flagship. It's the flagship artist of the label, kind of like. That's the main dude, like you said, the Mickey Mouse of the fucking
The Mickey Mouse of Disney.
bro. That's exactly what it is.
Doozy the duck. I think, and I always was scared that, you know, posting too much, I'm gonna
Right.
lose interest.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to say that, dude, you make some diehard fans if you keep posting. And not just keep posting, but just show that you put effort in. Like,
Right.
people appreciate effort. People appreciate a dude posting every day. Like, there's pride to take in that.
You hope so, man. You know, you like to think, like, sometimes I get in places where I'm like, man, I wonder if somebody does see how hard I'm working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've worked harder in the past, you know what I'm saying, year than I've ever worked on shit in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm in the middle, so I get a lot of fans that are lower than me, that, you know, with their drawing skill and like how far they are with their own comic books, they'll comment on my stuff and they ask if I have Discord and they want help, and I'm more than happy to sit there and comment back and be like, this is the app I use, and go and help them out.
bro.
But then there's also people who make a living off art who's commented on my stuff that say,
No shit.
oh, this is a creative idea. I love this. And it's kind of mixed and match. I got probably about 3 or 4 different artists who make a living off making their own comic books who have gave me praise for my idea. And then the other half is like other aspiring
Right.
people who want to make comics who haven't yet. And they see me doing it because they see that I literally was just where they were with a
Right.
pen and paper. They see that. And now they see that I just leveled up. I just stepped up and did something better. And they're trying to figure out what I did to get from A to B. How'd you get that from pen and paper to digital?
Yeah, certain things, but like I always was kind of naive about certain shit. Like I just am realizing how valuable certain shit like that is.
Mm-hmm.
Like how I put that video of how to upload a song to Garage.
That got big, dude.
It got like 1,600 right now or something. But what I didn't realize is little shit like that is valuable. Like you remember Dorian from Group 82. He was a huge.
I don't even need to know about the music industry, but I love
right.
I might as well.
And certain things aren't just music. Like certain things can be applied
to
other fields of business. Like certain things
he
are
talks
business.
about ads a lot.
Right.
He shows his analytics, and that's
shit,
what I probably tune into the most to.
He's very transparent with
He
his.
said, "This is how much money I made off YouTube Shorts,"
right.
And it's just like, hell yeah,
That's awesome. He's
Like-
definitely transparent about that.
that's the shit you want to know about.
Here's what I did. Here's the results. Here's what I did. Here's the results.
Yeah.
It's like very transparent.
Like if you did that, if you made a video, I paid for a SoundCloud ad. Here's how it did.
Right.
Like people would watch the fuck out of that.
Sometimes I just get discouraged by little ideas like that. Sometimes I just kind of feel like that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm in this for. But at the same time, it's like I do try to do little things, man, like marketing and little ad things and shit like that, just to try to pull some attention.
Yeah.
But at the same time, bro, I like it to be organic.
You're a very knowledgeable guy, though.
About what?
About the way you talk. I think you have you have a good dialect. I think when it would come to trying to teach someone how to do something, you know how to tell them.
So you think I should explain it
Like how you did
over
that
the person?
thing.
Well, that was just screen recorded.
Right.
The thing I fucked up on that was I didn't put a song in the background, which is like just like an empty. It's just silent.
That's a repose, baby.
That should have been, but I don't want to delete that one. You know what I mean?
Hell no, you ain't got to.
Then I
The
feel like
thing
my
about
profile
TikTok,
looks clickbaity. You know what I'm saying? At that point, I just feel like, I'm just questioning it. I'm not looking at it negatively. I just start to question it. Like, is that as genuine as just putting the music out? Even hashtags I'm weird about because
Yeah, I've stopped that.
it just,
I don't use hashtags.
it seems clickbaity. It's like it isn't like an organic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Organic interaction. It's like
You getting the wrong people.
Yeah, and that too, it's not your core audience. It's not who you're targeting with this shit.
No.
Somebody asked me about the podcast, like, what's your audience? And I don't really, I don't know if it's that for me, bro. You know, I really just want to have conversations, and if somebody finds value in it, you know, like if I have a conversation with you and it's about monetizing my creativity, that don't mean I not want to have a conversation with a beautiful woman about whatever beautiful women and me talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you can that's the whole thing. Providing perspective is not. There's no boxes around that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could talk to a fucking.
Your audience finds you.
Right.
Like,
And I don't feel like you have to have one specific audience. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, I could have each episode has its own specific audience. I believe that.
yeah.
But it's like, I almost kind of want it to be in just a way to think of it as like a TV channel, Some of them are centered around certain shit, like country music television or something like that. But a lot of them aren't. They're just
a lot of them just they're for everybody.
It's for everybody. It could be
You like it or you
multiple
don't.
things. See, I just feel like we draw these boxes around weird little shit. You know what I'm saying? That none of these boxes exist. It's like none of these boxes exist, bro. We just literally create them. Like, what the fuck? Like, you can make a fucking podcast episode and some 80-year-old lady could relate to it on some level you don't know about.
For real.
Just why not? Like,
I mean, I'm sure there's 80-year-old women who love Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
And then there's 14-year-old kids who listen to Lil Wayne.
Yeah, like
He's making music that he likes.
Right.
He's not making music for a specific audience. That's why some like Kendrick Lamar songs are real gangster-like, and then some are like real corny and like heartbreaking. Like, he's not trying to make anything for anyone but himself. That's exactly what this podcast should be. Just be us sharing our experiences.
Yeah. I think everybody should have a podcast, bro. Like, I think everybody should have a podcast. It's just another platform. You know what I'm saying? Why not? It's another aspect of your personality. Like I said, you're selling yourself. You ain't selling... Like, obviously, you want people to look at these little bits of content, but at the end of the day, what you're trying to get them to pay attention to is the fact that you can keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't my own... Look, this is a dope video, but at the same time, I got 45 other ones that you might find just as valuable.
Right.
So...
I think it's all in timing, too, because I've never, like, discovered someone on their first shit. I've never, like, oh, this is dope, then went to their page, and it was their first thing.
Right.
It's always, oh, shit, this dude's song's dope. Oh, he's been doing it since, for 10 years. This dude has 5 albums.
Yeah.
Like, when I listened to Mac Miller, he already had every album out before I started listening to him.
And you said that last time. You said,
Wasn't until he died.
yeah. But you said that last time. You don't want to. It's more likely that someone, if they like your video and go to your profile and you have 10 other videos they like, they're more likely to follow you than if you just have that one video.
Exactly.
It's like, that's cool, but it shows consistency. It shows, it's almost like a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's almost you put some trust into this person, like Dorian. I really got, like, he provides a lot of value, bro.
There's a difference between a like and a follow. When you can get someone to
Damn,
follow
hold
you,
up.
bro,
Say that again, bro. Run that back, bro. Hold up. Tune in, PSA. That was a fucking bar, bro.
But there is a difference between a like and a follow, man. You can get thousands of likes, bro, and still have only.
Bro, you should write
still have 0 followers.
You should write a book called There Is a Difference Between a Like and a Follow.
That is a line.
Social media unturned.
I think that's something that we strive for likes.
We strive for likes.
we should be trying to build followers. Like, what makes you follow somebody?
Value. Trust.
Yes.
Trust and value.
Not just a funny video.
Right.
Not just one good little thing.
It's true, bro. I don't follow somebody just because they had one dope video. You don't.
I want to know what they're making next.
Right. You got to have at least a few.
Yeah. And that's why Dorian is so good, because he...
Right.
God, I've never seen someone upload that much, bro.
Bro, he don't
That
stop.
dude will flood your stories. He will, he'll be live and promoting 10 different things in a day, every fucking day. And that's just persistency.
What's weird about that,
the
though?
3 Ps. Passion, patience, and persistence.
I'm about to get that fucking tatted on my navel, bro.
The PPP.
Fucking passion, patience, persistence.
It's true.
You
That's
heard
all
about
it
the
takes.
5 Ps?
No. I don't.
Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Oh, shit.
See, look, what are we doing here, bro? We about to get fucking acronyms? We about to fucking get acronyms tatted on us or what? Fucking PPPP.
I think we got a book already now.
But we're creating a virtual book, and that's what I think a lot of this shit is, bro. When you look back and your grandson's like looks at your TikTok, like just he gets a glimpse of who you were as a dude just be based on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this type of shit we live forever through. We could live. It could be forever timeless type shit because. You know, a lot of before there wasn't podcasts and fucking musical outlets and Facebook and all kinds of shit to keep you around longer than you actually would be.
Right. And people need this. People go on podcasts and listen to podcasts to get information, to forget, to learn, to get a perspective. Because the people around us aren't providing that for us. I think a lot of people are sheltered by their family and what their friends are gonna think, or what their fucking co-workers are gonna think, and how are they gonna get judged. But when you go to a podcast there's a guy talking with the same perspective as you, and he's speaking your language, everything starts to make sense in your head now. Now you feel, this is what I'm meant to do. This guy's talking to me. And that's just a feeling that a lot of people don't get.
I'm not really a wide, super podcast listener, but there are certain ones about certain things that I watch a lot. Drink Champs, I watch a lot. Entourage, the dude who created Entourage is Doug Ellen. He has a podcast called Victory, the podcast, that I watch a lot. And he's on there. He talks about, because they're creating a new show. It's called Ramble On. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy, bro. It's just crazy to watch their process, because they're doing it independently. This dude created Entourage, right, which was a successful HBO show. I'm pretty sure it got canceled in 2011. Yeah. It came out with a movie that wasn't super successful in terms of numbers. So he has the show, and he's not employed or nothing. He has the show that he created that, he's able to live off of. But at the same time, just as a creative, you like to make new shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got this pilot episode. It's got Charlie Sheen. It's got couple dudes from Entourage in it. It's got a bunch of fucking big names, And he just kind of documenting the whole thing, which is I've never seen before. Yeah. He just gives you insights on creating a TV show or a pilot and things like writing things you would never. I've never caught that same perspective on, just because. First of all, I don't know a lot of independent pilots, of things that I'd be interested in watching. You know what I'm saying? And second of all, independent, they pay for everything. They pay a lot of money and
they made it themselves, and
no one's bought it yet. They just have this pilot. It's got Charlie Sheen and all these big name dudes in it. To me, it's super crazy. They went out by themselves and rambled up all these dudes, shot a pilot, and no one owns it. It's we're sitting here on this pilot. That's crazy to me, bro.
Yeah,
that's awesome. It's the ultimate leverage.
I know. Seth MacFarlane, he created Family Guy. He used to work on Johnny Bravo.
I heard that. I seen that.
There was a couple other cartoons, but he used to work for Cartoon Network. Well, he went back to his house, and for 6 months, the pilot of Family Guy he did it all himself. Animate. Took him 6 months working every single day. But he created every character design. Stewie, Peter, everyone. The voices. He plays Peter. He plays Stewie. Brian.
Right.
That man created his own fortune.
He's incredible, bro.
Yeah.
When I watch interviews on him and things like that about just Ted and all the shit he's done, bro, it's crazy to hear. He's one of those creatives that I'm I got admiration for.
Family Guy was canceled 3 times.
Right.
And it's still on. One of the most successful cartoons ever.
Right.
And it got canceled 3 times.
I heard they got a super beef with South Park.
Yeah, South Park hated them.
They hate them. They hate Seth MacFarlane's writing and shit like that, which is just and I have no desire to shit on nobody's creatively. Yeah. I only respect it, but if I'm gonna give a pH test on how I feel about it, I don't like South Park. I don't know if I'm the only person that feels that way, because a lot of people like it, but there's been, I think, one episode of South Park that I was like, this is enjoyable. Family Guy, there are lots.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is your take on South Park?
South Park is totally a different show when it comes to Family Guy. You know,
It just seems like and like all kind of shit. Like I ain't interested in that, bro. You know what I mean? Like
it's very, it's a dumb kind of comedy.
yeah, it's like I don't.
But and then at the same time, Family Guy's dumb comedy too.
It is too, but it's almost smart at the same time as it's dumb. It's like there's thought about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the biggest thing Seth MacFarlane gets hated on is they call them the cutaways. It's where Peter goes,
flashbacks. And
remember,
shit.
I remember, yeah, the flashbacks. Well,
Like that time when I fucking rode on the Hindenburg or something.
Yeah.
And it flashes back like
yeah. Well, Seth MacFarlane was talking about it. He says those are actually the hardest things to write
Yeah,
because you have to create a scene, you have to create a story, you have to create characters that are completely unrelated, just for like some 10-second fucking joke.
Right.
You have to do all this work, and he said that's the hardest part about that show, is doing them cutaways. But that's why they're as famous as they are.
But that's another take on you can, and from Seth MacFarlane's perspective, right? Like us, you're just I imagine him as just a genuine creative who in his mind is just doing something like that he feels like is super dope and
He
he
got
loves.
shitted on.
Yeah, and they can just well, not even like in a negative way. They just could completely not even like it, and you could think it's awesome. And they just don't. It's like food. Like, I could think fucking hamburgers are amazing. Like, bro, you gotta try this hamburger. And you're like, bro, this is gross. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy. That really is really what it's like. It's like, you don't know what you're biting into until you fucking swallow it. And then you're like, that wasn't good.
But it's not even South Park. It was The Simpsons hated Family Guy.
Really?
The creators of Hank Hill hated Family Guy.
That seems like haterade, bro, because
everyone used to call it Simpsons Club. Just because, just because it was like a dumb husband with a wife and kids. And it was about, the family work class kind of cliche thing.
Right.
And it's like, okay, Simpsons is the most popular fucking cartoon in the world. Why wouldn't you try to mimic that?
Right. It's like we was talking about how like you always emulate your favorite artist at the beginning until you develop your own sound. And it could be like that, and it could have been like that in the beginning, like Family Guy was super derivative of like Simpsons. We were just talking about Doug Allen, bro, and the way he got started with Entourage is he loves Curb Your Enthusiasm. You ever watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Curb Your Enthusiasm is one of my favorite shows.
I love that show. He loved that
Larry
show, bro.
David's the GOAT.
He's a legend. And some dude who he knew in college or something told him to write a script. He said he told him to write a script about his favorite show. So he wrote like a spec script on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And he showed it to his buddy, and his buddy was Mark Wahlberg's manager.
Yeah.
And he showed it to him, and that was Entourage.
Oh, yeah.
He literally made a spec script about Curb Your Enthusiasm. So he's emulating
something that he loves.
He emulated something he loved and got, and that's the best case scenario though, is for you to do that, right? And it's almost not even you in the truest sense, but someone still sees something about it in you, like, you know what I mean, to be like, to give you a shot. That's pretty special.
That's what it takes.
It takes putting yourself out there, because if you don't do that, then no one's gonna be able to see it anyways, right?
Yeah, because there's plenty of people with money that are trying to invest in the next big thing. And if they believe in you, that's all it takes. But back to that. If you look at The Simpsons and Family Guy, Simpsons nowadays emulate Family Guy. If you look at the structure of their episode,
really,
Simpsons does cutaways now. Simpsons
right.
follow the plot line. Like, Family Guy's plot's not really kind of story structured. A lot of random things are happening.
Right.
And Family Guy is that thing. It's like random equals funny.
Right.
Simpsons back in its heyday was always based on story. It was always, the characters were well fleshed out. And nowadays, Simpsons kind of copies Family Guy. So it's really ironic how Family Guy got all that slack for copying Simpsons when now the roles have reversed.
It all derives usually, I feel like, from insecurities. Usually you ain't even, if you're super secure There's no real genuine reason for you to hate, even if someone is being successful at something. Like,
Right.
if you're secure in what you're doing and you're content with that, there is no reason why someone can't coexist in a different space. You know what I'm saying? Over here while you're fucking doing what you do.
Yeah. Look at Rick and Morty. That is Doc and Marty from Back to the Future.
That's crazy.
Like, literally, Rick and Morty, one of the most popular cartoons today, is a ripoff.
It's like a
of a famous
it's like
movie.
a reiteration. Like,
It really is.
and that's life though, kind of in a lot of ways, right? Like, that's especially creativity is reiteration. It's like revising things.
There's no way in hell that you can create something original nowadays. It's always got to be inspired by something.
I think it's still original though, right? In a lot of ways.
In a
It's,
sense.
like you said earlier, bro. It's only you. I heard Nipsey say that too. There's a song only you can make. There's a
Right.
drawing only you can make just based on your experiences. Not even nothing to do with just your personality, but everything you've been through in life, the way you look at things,
Yeah.
could be have an effect on what comes out of you.
But, like, there'll never be another movie as big as Star Wars.
I mean,
Like-
you say that, bro, but
Or, like, when Biggie came out. Or, like,
Biggie.
50. Like, you think there'll ever be another artist that'll have that wave again?
well, that's a hindsight thing, bro, because there's artists that are like Cardi B, bro. I was super interested in hating on her at first. Every song on her debut album is platinum.
Exactly.
Every song.
That is...
Not
that
the
is-
radio songs, not the promoted songs.
Yeah.
Every fucking song. Every song. The
Right.
greatest, like, you know what I'm saying? The most praised hip hop albums on the fucking planet do
Don't
not
have
that. You know what I'm saying? It's not even close.
Right.
So what do we consider a good album? I remember Jay-Z saying 40% is like, you know, like if you like 40% of an album, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. I also think you could not like a song today and like it tomorrow. So
Definitely.
I don't want to go
Definitely. I
saying
mean,
the album sucks or nothing.
usually, I mean, if you like 40% of the album, I tend to find that once you stop liking that percent, it's the other songs you start liking.
Right.
Like,
You find a way to appreciate them. It's like
definitely. Like the
it's
Swimming
always-
album with Mac. Swimming. Like,
Did you not like that at first?
I remember Jet Fuel I didn't like at
Right.
first.
You
But
almost
then that
wanna
was
hate.
one of my favorite songs.
You almost want to hate for some reason at first. You know what I mean?
It
And it's
sounds
like,
different. You're
yeah,
like,
it's different.
What?
With this Drake album, everybody's saying that. Like, everybody's hating
I
on
haven't
it.
even heard it.
I like the sounds on it, bro.
I've
but-
heard so much trash about it.
Yeah, it's no,
But
it's
that's
not
not
that
why I
trash.
haven't
bro.
heard it,
It's not
but-
that trash. There's good records on there. Even the Kendrick album, like I've not really been listening to that, but at the same
Right.
time, me and you were hella late on Kanye's early albums, so I think you just find it when you find it, bro.
For sure.
Or
Dude, I
find
didn't
you.
listen till I was 18. I didn't listen to Graduation till 18.
You almost have to be in a certain place for it to sink in the right way. You know, it's like
Oh, it sunk in heavy too. I went through a big Kanye phase.
I remember
Where
that
that's all
up
I
in your
listened
apartment
to.
and shit.
Yeah.
But that's anything. I feel like that's anything, bro. Even creativity. It's like you feel good about it. It's rewarding.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would I not keep doing this? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's why like we burn out new songs so fast. It's like this song gives me a feeling. It's almost like I'm a kid again. It's like,
You just play it over
why
and over
wouldn't
and
I
over.
keep doing that? Yeah.
Right.
But eventually you're like burnt out on it and you kind of think. But at the same time, I almost love hating something and then coming back and liking it because
Trying to like it.
yeah, it's like it shows that you can do that. You could absolutely hate something, but come back and look at it differently and be like, there's really nothing. What was
It's
I
the
hating on
reason
this
why
for?
you're hating on it.
Right.
Like,
What was I hating for? I mean,
there's a difference between I really don't like this. There's no doubt in my mind I don't like this. And then there's another thing that this is pissing me off for some reason and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in a pissed off mood,
right.
but let me figure out why I don't like it.
Yeah, a lot of music I was super hating on. I think a lot of it was like a lot of this new age type of shit. Like you compare shit, even like with Drake songs. I was going through that for a while of like I wasn't super I wasn't enjoying his music because I was comparing it to the old
Oh,
songs. You know what I
yeah.
mean? You're like, well, it ain't fucking Take Care, and it's like, bro, Take Care is Take Care. Like, it is what it is. Like, appreciate this for what it is, because at the end of the day, they're just sounds, and none of them are terrible. You know what I'm saying? None of them are like you said, fucking scratching your fingers up against a chalkboard. None of it's like that. They're all sounds at the end of the day. Nothing super terrible about it, but it might not be your cup of tea.
No. And every day that could change.
Right. And yeah, I mean, I remember, I definitely I try to take a new perspective when I'm listening to songs, because I don't like Dr. Seuss rap. Like, you know, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. Like, I ain't into that. You know what I'm saying? I want
to be blown off my feet, man. You know, I want to be
that's a lot asking kind of a little bit.
Did that? I mean,
I do want something. You know what I'm
you
saying?
hear J. Cole's new album. I mean,
right, bro.
that man just went off the chart, dude.
I was so inspired.
Amari, 100 Mil, Hunger on Hills, dude. I mean, it seemed like every song on that album was a banger.
Hunger on Hillside hit me different, bro.
And just to leave it off on that. Leave it off on that song, you know what I mean?
Right.
That was the end of the album, and it just made you go, like, my mouth was open. I remember you came in here, and you're like, "Did you hear that J. Cole album?" I was like, "No." And you're like, "Listen." we literally, from front to back, we listened to it.
No shit here?
Yeah.
I love doing that, man. I love listening to
I don't think I've ever
album.
done that with an album.
I love doing that. You gotta get your, and I don't want to, like we was talking about, bro. You want to hate on it at first. Like, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I want to give it its just due. And if I do hate it, cool. But at least I went into it with no preconceived notions, and I listened to it and gave it a shot.
Right.
Because I used to hate on Kanye. I used to hate on Kendrick. I swear to God, I used to hate on Kendrick, bro. I swear to God, I did. I hated on Kendrick. And you feel like a dipshit when you go back and you listen to songs like...
Why'd I hate on him?
Oh
I used to hate on Wayne. I used to think, I was like, oh, this dude's voice is annoying. Why would anyone listen to him? And now I listen to him and he gives me chills, and, like, you know...
Do you think it's
he's one of the hardest rappers alive, dude.
Do you think it's because of the way other people... Like, I'm kind of against the crowd thing, you know?
Yeah, I think everyone else said it was dope. And I'm like, well, I already know I'm not like you.
Right, I kind of want to hate on it.
So if you like it, I probably won't. Because you don't like what I like.
That's true, bro. I do that.
I like my own cup of tea. And you guys are already on your own thing. So definitely seeing kids in my school, like, you know, dick ride Kanye, that already off the bat made me go, I'll stick to what I already know.
Right. But what's funny is when you kind of get that feeling of Kanye, you're like almost turning into a dick rider. Like, holy shit! Like, but you have that perspective of like, damn, I understood.
Where they're coming from.
Right. Which is just wow, bro. That's why I feel like I got the environment in which I consume music is a huge factor in the way I feel about it, bro. Like, if somebody tries to show me a song, I get turned off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a good song, I'm like, keep it, bro. I'll find it myself at some point in life, I promise. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even need you to show me that. I'll find it at some point. Fuck it.
Music's so weird, man.
It is weird.
My taste in music changes so drastically from, like, oh, I want to hear all these raps, and then I want to hear all these melodies, or... You know, it consistently changes.
Definitely.
Daily. Like, just in your mood. Like, it's very night and day. I start my day listening to different music than when I end it to.
Yeah. And, like, everybody listens to music for different reasons. Sometimes it's almost an escapism, like we was just talking about. Some songs make you feel good. So if you're going through a little something that moment...
Yeah.
In the day, a little
definitely have your go-to song.
Yeah, like, this might make me feel good. This will pick me up.
I'm in a rough mood. I need that uplifter, that feel-good song. And then there's some songs where you're like, you just want to fucking bob your head to and fucking feel.
Let me explain, bro, why I feel like I try not to judge anything, bro. Because I heard Joe Budden say one time, I think it was Joe Budden, he said, you're only in 3 places ever in life, bro. Only ever in 3 places in life are... You're either going through something, you're about to go through something, or you just got done going through something. So at the same time, even when you run into somebody who's a dick, it's like, bro, Like
there
I
either.
don't want you to be a dick to me, but at the same time, obviously not everybody's a dick for no reason. Like you probably have some
you're
shit
going
on.
through something.
Yeah, like, and it's hard to have that perspective, especially in that moment of like where you gotta fight that anger of like, what, dude, you just disrespect me, bro?
Yeah, I heard something where they said, I don't know if you know Gary Vanderchuk.
Yeah.
I heard him, he said, when someone hates on you, you should feel bad for them. Because there's a reason why they're hating. Their life has to be that bad that they're sitting there getting mad about what you're doing. Like, no one is ever happy hating on something.
Right.
So you have to have sympathy for your haters.
You have to take your eyes off of your situation to even hate on somebody. You know what I'm
They're
saying?
projecting their own hate
Right.
onto you.
I heard that I think it might have the end or beginning of a JID song. It was like
JID's sick.
hard, bro. He's
JID,
hard.
dude.
Super hard.
His freestyles are off the fucking chart, dude.
He had a snippet at the end of his song that said, man, a motherfucker will let his food get cold watching other motherfuckers eat. Which is funny, bro, because it's like that. You really, for you to even hate on somebody requires you to take your attention off of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You literally have to stop doing what you're doing to hate on somebody. So it's, I do it too. No one is perfect. Like obviously,
No.
you know, like obviously.
But there's a difference between like hating on your rival sports team or hating on a character in a movie rather than real life shit. Like, point your negativity towards your competition,
Right.
not towards your friends and family.
But that's what everybody, that's why I try to think about. That's why even these conversations are important, because when you're sitting alone, you might come to some conclusions, but if you don't bounce that off of people, then there ain't no real...
Yeah, you're sticking with the same perspective.
Yes. There's no challenge.
You're not
there's no
building
challenge.
on to yourself.
Exactly. Building,
Like,
that's a good word for it.
You're definitely hurting yourself if you don't get this shit out.
You're staying content.
And that's why I love, even if I'm halfway through a drawing, even if it's just a sketch, I run it through 5 people, 10 people. Like I don't keep a number, but
See,
I
I wish I
definitely
did
love
that, bro.
to sit there and force a perspective out of people. Like I put them on the spot. Like JD, my sister, she just came from a run, and she's like sweating balls, and I was like, "Hey, come here." You know, like I'm sure she's not in the right mind to sit there and give a perspective on, something. Like she's trying to breathe right now.
But then then you might get some real honesty at that moment too.
Exactly. So maybe my mom's drunk. I'll ask her again the same question.
Perspectives are nice, especially if you don't rely on them. You can just take them and understand that it sits here as its own perspective. But
yeah, I have no problem with someone giving me their perspective and saying, I don't like what you're doing, and I have no problem going, well, I do, so you're wrong. Like,
or just not even that, bro.
I'll still take it into account.
I respect that. I respect how you feel that way. That's cool, but at the same time, I don't think that's gonna stop me from doing it.
No. I just wanted to hear it. And
like,
why do you feel that way?
Imagine if you spent your whole life doing something and somebody said, man, that sucks, and you just quit. Like, I'm never doing it again. God damn it. Like, that would be crazy. So it's like,
I think a lot of people do that, though. And I think it starts at a very young age where people feel discouraged. Like, if I was a kid and someone shitted on me for drawing, I don't know if I'd still be drawing if I was a kid.
Yeah, that's hard to take when you're a kid, bro.
When I was a kid, I was drawing. I got praised. I got approval from my friends, my family, everybody. They were like, dude, you can draw. That's dope as fuck. I can't do that. I was like, hell yeah, I might not be able to play basketball.
Right. Everybody has their
but I can do this shit. I can draw a basketball.
Was it always easy for you? Or was there, like, periods where you had to get to that point, like, when you were a kid?
Man.
You got 45 seconds left.
I always felt like it came easy to me. But trying to get a reaction out of other people is what I always had to work for. Getting a reaction out of myself and making myself happy with my own drawings. It could be shitty, it could be good. I was always happy with my own drawings. Always loved drawing. It was just a coping mechanism. It didn't made me not feel alone. It gave me confidence in myself, and I really felt like I was in control of my own world. I could create whatever I wanted, and I loved that.
Well, there you have it, folks. Another hour with Rickman to be continued.